Greetings everyone, Corey here. Time for another movie review. And I went to go see The Crow, which kind of surprised me actually. Funny enough, I actually like it better than Borderlands. I know it's not saying much, but yeah, it actually... So, originally I thought maybe it wasn't a sequel, um, which it kind of is. I mean, it's more like a sequel than it is a remake, even though yeah, the main character both have the name Eric, but in this one he doesn't have a last name, which is hey, first names. I mean, that's really all we need, right? Just a first name to call him. So, uh, it's interesting to say the least. I at first I didn't wasn't at the start of the movie. It started off interesting. It has a weird scene at the beginning that does get draw. You know, it gets a callback later on, but it's not really too. Yeah, it's not really too important. It does set up a little bit, but eh, it's whatever. I think they could have did it differently. I don't think we really needed it, but it works, I guess, in the end. It was a little jarring though, but yeah. So it starts off interesting, then it kind of slows down because there's just like so many producers and so many things. Like you could tell this movie's gone through movie hell just by like all the people credited and all the producers and the studios and everything that worked on it, because it seems like a lot. um, excuse me. But it's weird because it feels like the most. It's like a British movie trying to be American because it's supposed to take place in a big metropolitan, U.S. city, but pretty much like a lot of the scenes where they're not like showing the skyscrapers and stuff feel like it's just like the back alleys of like London or somewhere overseas, like in the UK. It doesn't help that the characters also seem very European. They don't really feel American except for the main protagonist, Danny Huston, his character. So I'm looking at IMDb right now, and it's kind of actually where is it? It's middle of the road as far as rating, so it's alright. It's definitely a I don't know, it's kind of hard to really rate it. It's a good movie. Once it picks up steam as it goes along, which is pretty cool. I do like it. It starts to feel. Have you seen the original Crow movie from the '90s? That's kind of the '90s. The Crow is pretty corny. It's very '90s, and this one's definitely more modern. It feels more grungy, or trying to be more realistic. But they do get the supernatural stuff out of the way at the very start, so it's not quite like the first Crow where um, the supernatural stuff is kind of mysterious, and you don't quite know if it's actually supernatural. Of course, yeah, he comes back from the dead, but did he really come back from the dead, or it's it plays a little more. The first one plays a little more loosey goosey as far as the whole powers and everything go. But as it goes along, of course, you realize, yeah, he can't die. Where this one kind of really starts off pretty early. It's like, yeah, there's mystical forces in this world, so yeah. But I do like the female lead shop, who plays Shally, man, of FKA Twigs. Lovely girl, but she's not really that great of an actor. It's weird because at the beginning she's not a good actor. Given the lines, like, it's weird. I think she can't act when there's not someone she's looking at, because she's on the phone at the beginning, and it just feels it's bad. It's honestly, it's just bad. Um, like there's no emotion to it. It just feels like just reading lines like very nonchalant in a way, which I guess considering the setting and stuff, I could see that. But um, yeah, but later on when she meets Eric and stuff, and there's a chemistry there. I do feel it. It definitely feels strong. It makes you, you know, because yeah, this isn't quite a straight reboot. It's kind of a sequel because like The Crow has been multiple people before. If you read like the comics and stories and stuff like that, but yeah, it's still kind of the basics, the basic revenge story. Which that's kind of who The Crow is. It's well, revenge and setting things right and stuff like that. Um, so yeah, it's just I don't know. It's weird. It's a weird movie to say the least. If you get past honestly, if we could get past the first half an hour, it really starts picking up and it becomes very enjoyable. Once he actually becomes the Crow, pretty much you can kind of feel a lot of the I don't know if it's just like the change of like the directors or something or the story or something's going on, but you can feel it feels more like a Crow movie than the first like half an hour, which isn't too bad. But yeah, man, the first like 10 minutes really, I think, are pretty rough. Once you get past that, the two leads, meet, they start falling in love and stuff like that. Then it's like okay, it's pretty good. But yeah, it's a little rough at the start. I feel like it could have like honestly they just started right when they first meet, so that could have just been the starting point. But hey, that's just me. So, but yeah, it picks up. Definitely has a pretty good ending. Final fight, interesting enough. There is some interesting lines, and I was kind of man, I was looking for so much corniness to come out, but they kept it to a very minimal. There are a couple lines where you're like, hey, that's it's pretty good actually. They got some pretty good jokes and lines in there, so yeah, it's the music's pretty cool. I liked it. There's definitely some interesting music. It's not as good as, of course, the original soundtrack, but it fits very well. Granted, of course, I wish there was maybe one or two older songs in there from the '90s just to mix it up. It feels very doesn't feel as rock heavy. It's definitely more man, I don't know what you would call it because um, my taste of music is more old school, alternative, classic rock, new metal, stuff like that. So I'm a couple decades out from the newer stuff, but yeah, I don't know. I enjoyed it though. I liked it. I think when they used it, it was very good and impactful. I think the scenes that they used the music for fit very well. But yeah, actors they do a really good job. The main two male protagonists and antagonists do a really great job. I think it's funny enough that people were clowning on the Crow's makeup, which when you watch the movie you realize why it looks the way it does compared to Brandon Lee from the original Crow. So there's a story to that, which once I saw it I was like, okay, I was fine with it. Once you kind of draws out and you figure out why he looks like that. So man, the effects were actually pretty good. Nothing felt too cheesy or cheap. Man, there's some crazy gore stuff. Like, it's definitely an R-rated movie. Like, it's pretty, man, some of the kills and stuff and some of the fight scenes are pretty rough, man. Like, it's pretty gruesome, some of the stuff they do. Very innovative, too. I do like what they do, especially towards, the final fight scene. Not the, of course there's a final fight scene and there's the boss fight. Right before the boss fight is a really great scene. I think it works really well, especially with everything that's going on. So yeah, man, it really picks up towards the last half. I think that's the best part of it. The beginning is a little rough to get into, but once you get past that, it's a very enjoyable movie. So it's definitely like a 4 starting off, but it kicks into that 6, 7 towards the end. Even maybe even a little bit of 8. So it is what it is. But yeah, it's interesting. You don't have to go see it in the theaters. If you want to go for it, like I said, to get past for that, for 15, 20 minutes, I think you're good. You should enjoy it enough that you don't want a refund. So, but next time, next movie, I think I have. Then I do have another movie. Actually, I don't. Dang it. Oh, 2 weeks out. Beetlejuice. It's Beetlejuice. So, we'll see. But until next time, guys. Later.